So Sayadaw has been explaining that it is necessary to assert 3 stages of effort: initial effort, stepped up effort to overcome laziness, and effort stage by stage until one reaches the goal. So these 3 stages of effort must be asserted in order to develop wholesome mind and the knowledge. And one should also put strenuous effort. One should practice systematically with strenuous effort. So effort must be made so that preceding effort and the succeeding effort will be continuous. When noting the presently arising objects, such as rising and falling of the abdomen, one needs to put effort so that the noting mind will reach the object of meditation. So one should push the mind continuously so that the noting mind will reach the object of meditation. So one must not be sluggish, one must not be working in a cool manner, one must not be lazy or slow, but one must always be active, alert, and ready. Just like Sayadaw explained yesterday, in a car, if you do not turn on the engine of the car, the battery will get run down. When you keep the engine on, when you turn on the engine, the battery will be automatically charged. So in the same way, you need to keep working in order to charge your mental battery. So some people think that practicing Satipatthana meditation in Buddhism pressures the person a lot. So some people think it is too much pressure practicing Satipatthana meditation. They say that there is no time for rest. So some of them run away after practicing 1 or 2 days from in the meditation center. So they find their escape from the meditation center after 1 or 2 days. And some also complain that the meditation teacher is very strict. So in fact, the meditation teacher is not strict, but Buddha guided the way to practice with diligent effort, with strenuous effort, so that one will get the necessary answers to the social problems. One will get the solution. When people are in a very tight situation, one needs to practice so as to be free from this suffering. So in the meditation center, where it is free from tight social situation, one needs to practice accurately in accordance to the guidance given. So in order to free oneself out of the suffering, out of the tight, difficult situation, one needs to practice precisely, accurately, respectfully, and meticulously. Only then you will get the benefit, you will get the answer to all the problems. So Sayadaw said, we do not mean to pressure you. So it is not pressuring you, We are just guiding you that if you work diligently with strenuous effort, then you will get these benefits. So some of the people complain that it is too strict, no time for rest. So if the meditator has this kind of view that it is too strict, no time for rest, so if they have this kind of lax mind, then they are not going to get the benefits from the practice. So in the meditation center, where it is free from the social problems, in order to be free from social problems, you need to practice Satipatthana meditation with strenuous effort. So in the past, the persons who go to the meditation center in order to free themselves from these social problems, their determination is very noteworthy. So in the past, these persons who come to the meditation center wanting themselves to be free from the social problems, they have the determination that I will practice diligently with strenuous effort, systematically according to the guidance given. So this is the determination they have when they come for practice in the meditation center. And when one is about to do a meditation retreat, there should not be avasa paliboda, or there should not be the working or the task of doing so much in the dwelling place. So one should choose a quiet place and practice systematically over and over again, continuously, so that preceding effort and the succeeding effort will be continuous. So one needs to practice continuously every single second, moment by moment. So yogi, meditator should not be doing anything apart from practicing. So meditators, yogis should give priority to practicing. They should give priority to noting the presently arising object. So it means that there should be no other work rather than practicing, rather than noting continuously. So whatever posture one is in, walking, standing, sitting, lying, in whatever posture one may be, one should note continuously on presently arising object, so that the noting mind will be very close to the object. In order to keep the noting mind very close to the object, one should put effort continuously so that the preceding concentration and the succeeding concentration will be continuous. So the meditators, the yogis here also must have the resolution or determination that I will practice continuously, diligently, with strenuous effort, systematically, so that preceding effort and the succeeding effort will be continuous. So there are two kinds of courage, two kinds of effort. The first one is courage to refrain from misconduct, evil conduct. And the second type is the courage to perform good action, courage to perform wholesome deeds. So the courage to do good things by body, speech and mind, it is very necessary. The courage to refrain from things that should be refrained, and the courage to do good action by body, speech and mind is necessary. By refraining from harmful things, one will not meet with danger. By performing things that are beneficial, one will benefit from the practice. So one should have, it is necessary to have the courage to refrain from harmful things, and also it is necessary to have courage to perform wholesome things. Buddha practiced this courage to refrain from things that should be refrained. Buddha refrained from these misconduct systematically, and Buddha practiced with courage the wholesome deeds, and finally Buddha eradicated all the defilements. And by attaining all 4 stages of Maggaphala Jnana, all 4 stages of path and fruition knowledge, Buddha eradicated all the defilements. Because Buddha made strenuous effort, diligent effort, Buddha attained this Maggaphala Jnana and also Sabbanyutta Jnana, omniscient knowledge. So Buddha himself asserted all 3 stages of effort, initial effort, step-up effort, and effort stage by stage until Buddha reached the goal. And as Buddha practiced himself, Buddha also urged others to put effort in the practice. So what Buddha instructed and guided are not through imagination or speculation, but Buddha guiding, instructing from his personal experience. Because Buddha himself exerted effort, Buddha himself practiced, and Buddha instructed from what he had found out, what he himself had practiced by himself. So as much one can follow the guidance and instruction, the more benefit one will get. By refraining things that Buddha had prohibited, one will be free from danger, one will not meet any harm. And by practicing what should be practiced, one will benefit from the practice. And by following according to the guidance and instruction given by the Buddha, the way to practice, then one will enjoy benefits. And by refraining the prohibition, by refraining things that should be refrained, one will not meet any harm. So these are the very special benefits one will get by following guidance, instruction, and by practicing the discipline given by the Buddha. So these guidance and instructions were practiced by Buddha himself. So the guidance and instruction from one's own experience can bring special benefits. So the guidance and instruction given by the Buddha are very practical, very systematic, because Buddha himself practiced before instructing, before guiding to other beings. So Buddha could guarantee that by practicing systematically, one will gain benefit. So one should have faith and confidence in the practice that this practice can give such benefit. So Buddha guaranteed in a very bold manner that by practicing Satipatthana meditation, one can get benefit such as purification of the mind and so on. So it is one and only sure way. Satipatthana practice is one and only sure way in order to gain benefits such as purification of the mind and so on. Nobody else can give this kind of guarantee as Buddha did. Buddha is the only one who could give guarantee that by practicing Satipatthana meditation, one can get benefits such as purification of the mind and so on. So in order to get these benefits such as purification of the mind, one should be mindful every arising object. One should be mindful all the time. Whenever the object arises, one should be mindful. So whatever object arises, one should be mindful. In order to be mindful, one should have effort. One should put effort so that one can be mindful of every arising object. So these instructions and guidance are given from Buddha's own experience, so these guidance are very practical. As much one can follow these guidance and instruction, the more benefit one will get. So practicing diligently, systematically, one can overcome the gross, medium, and refined form of defilements that has been following throughout the existences. Buddha himself eradicated all the gross, medium, and refined form of defilements and became totally purified from these defilements so that the body, speech, and mind become gentle, lovable. So in order to get this benefit, one should put effort in noting the presently arising object. One should aim the mind towards the object, such as rising and falling of the abdomen. And also, one should put effort so that the noting mind will fall on the object of meditation. When the noting mind falls on the object of meditation, at that moment, the path of unwholesomeness, the path of defilement will be blocked. Having effort present, this effort does not accept kilesa defilement from entering into the mind. So this effort, not accepting kilesa defilement, effort repelling the kilesa defilement, this is the immediate benefit one will get by exerting effort. So the immediate benefit of exerting effort is not accepting defilement, not accepting kilesa into the mind, and also blocking the path of unwholesomeness. So this is the immediate benefit. That's why one should have courage, one should have effort over and over again, and this effort will gain momentum. As the effort gains momentum, one will be able to overwhelm laziness, and also one will overcome unpleasant sensations that can arise in the practice. So having effort present, one will not flinch away, or one will not withdraw from noting the unpleasant sensation, and one will overcome these pains and aches. So overcoming this difficult stage of practice, one will gain more courage. So when one can overcome this difficult stage, one becomes even more courageous, and one can even challenge. The yogi can challenge whatever it comes, I will note. So yogi gains courage to challenge whatever object that comes, I will note. So having this courage, asserting effort over and over again, effort gains momentum, and also the other factors, other mental factors such as sati, samadhi, panya, mindfulness, concentration, panya will also develop. So this is the special benefit one can get by asserting effort. So when effort gains momentum, and when one is developing this sati, samadhi, panya, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom, one can get a very unique, unrelinquishable happiness that is so much more valuable than the worldly happiness. And one will finally attain sandhi sukha, ultimate peace. So when one has got this unique, unrelinquishable Dhamma happiness, one understands very well that this Dhamma happiness, Dhamma pleasure, is much more valuable and precious than the worldly happiness. When one has experienced this valuable, precious happiness, one will not think highly of worldly pleasure anymore, and one will put a value to the practice. One will really value and cherish this precious Dhamma happiness. So this is the special benefit one can get by practicing diligently with effort and courage. So by practicing diligently with effort, without regard to one's body and life, with this courage, one will get such benefits such as gaining this precious Dhamma happiness, Dhamma pleasure. In 24 hours, apart from 4 to 5 hours of sleep, one should be noting continuously, without any gaps, whatever posture he, she is in, walking, standing, sitting, whatever posture one is in, one should be noting continuously on the presently arising object. And in order to be able to note the presently arising object continuously, one should exert effort every single second. So this kind of work is quite heavy. If you think of it, some have doubt that will I ever be able to do this work? And some people think I can't do it. But the practice is very beneficial. So if one does not have faith and confidence in the practice, or if one is flinching back because one is afraid of fatigue or tiredness, then one's mind is flinching back, withdrawing, one's mind becomes less slack, sluggish, not wanting to exert effort. So, Tinamita, sloth and torpor, exhaustion of the mind, creeps in. So this Tinamita, sloth and torpor, exhaustion of the mind, is the nearest internal enemy that can give trouble to the yogi. So at the beginning of the practice, this Tinamita, sloth and torpor, torment the yogi the most. So it is very important to gain upper hand from this Tinamita, sloth and torpor. Because the work is difficult, thinking that this kind of work, this kind of practice is difficult, then thinking like that, the mind will shrink back, the mind wants to withdraw, and in this case, will or strong will cannot arise. If there is no strong will, then the laziness also creeps in. So in the text it is said, Linan Siddhang Kosasanupatitang, which means that shrunken mind, or the mind that shrinks, is followed by laziness. So laziness follows the shrunken mind, or the mind that is shrinking. So one should fight, or one should repel this laziness. So it is the first enemy one should fight, it is the first enemy one should battle with, so that one will overcome, one will overwhelm this laziness. So at the beginning of the practice, the mind can flinch back, the mind wants to withdraw. And in the course of practice also, when the yogi thinks that she is not making progress, the mind also will shrink. And also, during the practice, when the yogi is expecting good experiences, and if it doesn't turn out to be the way the yogi is expecting, then the mind becomes shrink, and then the mind, one wants to withdraw from the practice. And when the yogi has been expecting a fast progress, and if the practice is not progressing like the yogi has expected, then the yogi wants to withdraw, the mind flinch back, become shrink, not wanting to exert effort, so the laziness arises. And some of the yogis even quit the practice. So the one who is courageous and brave will never withdraw or will never flinch away from the practice. So the courageous yogi who is not willing to give up, who is not willing to withdraw, is sure to be a role model yogi who is a good example. The ones who are seeking for a guarantee in life will be able to exert courageous effort. So the yogis who are here for a guarantee in their life, one can say they are courageous. And when they are ready to face the difficulty, they even have more courage. They have started initial effort. So when coming to the field of practice, one should be courageous in working. And for courageous, brave person, even though it is a great task, they do not think of it as great task, but they think of it as easy task. And even though it is a difficult work, but they take it as easy. And they have faith and confidence in the practice. Even though it is a heavy work, they take it as light work. And they are willing to have this courageous effort in the practice, whatever it comes. And during this meditation retreat, one has to eat, one has to live moderately. And because they are so much used to staying comfortably, both in the body and mind, because they are so much used to comfort, when they come to the meditation center, one cannot let one's own mind free. One cannot do according to what she wishes. So one has to control his or her mind. So when they come to the center, they think of it as a prison because they feel tired both in the mind and the body because they have to control themselves so much. So they think they are like in a prison. But the ones who do not have shrunken mind, the ones who do not have withdrawing mind, they drive up the viriya effort. So these persons who drive up the viriya are sure to be role model yogi who will be good example to others. And those of you who are willing to face the difficulty with courageous effort, they are going to overcome their difficulties and they will become comfortable very soon.
So if the yogi understands the method of practice according to the teaching of the Buddha, and even though the yogi understands the method of practice, but if she is not making any progress within 1 week, then it is yogi's weakness. There is some kind of weakness in the yogi. So by practicing diligently according to the guidance given, and if she is not, one should practice diligently according to the guidance given. One should exert effort every single second, moment by moment. So if the yogi is not making any progress, then there is weakness in the yogi. Viriya, effort, is lacking in the yogi. If there is lacking in the viriya, then sati, mindfulness, will not develop. If there is no mindfulness, concentration samadhi will not develop. And this kind of yogi will have the same experience day by day. It is the same thing over and over again, not making any progress. So this yogi can be called a chronic yogi. So when the meditation teacher points out the weakness of the yogi, then it is yogi's duty to correct his or her weakness. So if the yogi is not making progress day by day, then one should make it a point to really put effort, strenuous effort, courageous effort in the practice and follow the guidance. So Sayadaw says that while you are here in this meditation retreat, please make worthy of the time that you have for practice. May you all be able to exert effort every single second continuously apart from your sleeping hours. So Sayadaw will like to urge you deeply to be alert, active, and ready to note the presently arising object without missing, without failing. Presently arising object without missing, without failing.